In a world where many nations have moved away from corporal punishment, Singapore stands out for maintaining one of the strictest and most formalized systems of caning. While caning was introduced during British colonial rule, it has become a deeply rooted part of Singapore's disciplinary framework, from courtrooms to classrooms, prisons to homes. This video takes a deep dive into how caning is used in modern-day Singapore, the legal procedures that govern it, and the impact it has on those who undergo it. What is caning, and how is it used in Singapore? In Singapore, caning is a formal and widely accepted form of corporal punishment used in various contexts: judicial, prison, military, reformatory, school, and domestic settings. Though controversial internationally, it remains deeply rooted in Singaporean law and culture. The practice was first introduced during British colonial rule and has been maintained, and in some cases expanded, by Singapore's post-independence government. While many countries have moved away from corporal punishment, Singapore defends its use of caning as a strict but effective deterrent, especially in criminal justice. How did caning become part of Singapore's legal system? Caning became part of Singapore's penal code during British colonial rule in the 19th century. It was first formally codified under the Straits Settlements Penal Code Ordinance 4 in 1871. Inspired by similar punishments in the UK, such as birching and flogging, caning was applied to crimes like robbery, assault, rape, and prostitution-related offences. Even after independence, Singapore retained and even strengthened caning laws. The Parliament expanded both the number of offences punishable by caning and the minimum strokes given for certain crimes. What does judicial caning look like? Judicial caning in Singapore is the most severe form of corporal punishment. It is reserved for male offenders aged 18 till 50, who are medically fit, and is always given in addition to a prison sentence. The punishment takes place in prison and is carried out by specially trained officers using a thick rattan cane. Offenders are restrained on a wooden trestle and caned on their bare buttocks, with strokes powerful enough to break the skin. The number of strokes can range up to 24 per trial, though multiple trials may result in more. The process is designed to inflict maximum pain while minimizing permanent damage to internal organs. A medical officer is present to stop the punishment if the offender becomes unfit to continue. Even so, many who undergo caning report excruciating pain, lasting injuries, and psychological trauma. Although the law exempts women, men over 50, and those sentenced to death from caning, Singaporean courts have occasionally imposed extended jail time when caning isn't possible. What kind of offenses are punishable by caning? Singapore allows judicial caning for over 35 offenses. These include rape, robbery, vandalism, drug trafficking, sexual abuse, unlawful possession of weapons, and gang-related crimes. Some offenses, such as rape or overstaying a visa by more than 90 days, carry mandatory caning sentences. In some cases, employers may be caned for hiring illegal immigrants or selling fireworks. Laws like the 1966 Vandalism Act were introduced post-independence and include caning as a mandatory penalty. Has the use of judicial caning changed over time? While the number of caning sentences peaked in the early 2000s, with over 6,000 sentences issued in 2007, there has been a gradual decline. By 2016, only 1,257 sentences were issued, with 78.5% carried out. Most canings take place in Changi Prison. While only serious cases are publicized, a large number of canings involve fewer than 6 strokes. Officers are highly trained, often with martial arts backgrounds, and instructed to deliver full-force strikes at speeds up to 160 kilometers per hour. How is caning carried out in prisons? Inmates who commit serious offenses while serving time may receive prison caning. The procedure is similar to judicial caning, and carried out by prison authorities. Up to 12 strokes may be given for offenses such as violence, escape attempts, or destruction of property. Between 2011 and 2020, over 2,800 instances of prison caning were reported. Most involved violence against staff or other inmates. Punishments are reviewed by an independent committee and approved by the Commissioner of Prisons. What about caning in the military? Caning is also authorized in the Singapore Armed Forces. Military offenders may be sentenced to up to 24 strokes for serious offenses. The punishment, while still painful, is less severe than civilian caning. A lighter cane is used, and the offender wears protective clothing to prevent long-term injury. Approval from the Armed Forces Council is required, and a medical officer must certify the offender as fit. This practice targets mainly young male conscripts in national service. Do schools still use caning? Yes, school caning remains legal and practiced in Singapore. Only male students aged 6 to 19 may be caned, and only on the buttocks over clothing or the palm of the hand. The Ministry of Education allows a maximum of 3 strokes, typically for serious or repeated offenses. Caning is usually done privately in the principal's office, but in more serious cases, it can be carried out in front of a class or even during school assembly. Public caning is intended to deter other students. Schools are required to notify parents after caning takes place, and the punishment may only be administered by the principal or a designated authority. Female students are exempt from corporal punishment and instead receive detention, suspension, or corrective work orders. What about caning at home? Domestic caning is still widely practiced in Singaporean households, often with thin rattan canes sold in grocery stores. Parents may use the cane on the buttocks, hands, or legs for reasons like disobedience, poor academic performance, or disrespect. The Singaporean government does not encourage but does permit mild corporal punishment at home, provided it does not cross into abuse. A 2019 YouGov study found that nearly 80% of Singaporean parents had used corporal punishment on their children. Why is caning so controversial? Singapore has repeatedly defended caning as a necessary deterrent against serious crime. Leaders like Lee Kuan Yew have stated that the punishment reduces repeat offenses and instills discipline. Yet human rights organizations such as Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have condemned judicial caning as cruel and inhumane. Singapore is not a signatory to treaties like the Convention Against Torture and continues to resist international pressure to abolish the practice. In recent years, debates have emerged about raising the age limit for caning in rape cases, as some offenders above 50 escape the penalty. Legal experts and politicians argue that fitness, not age, should determine eligibility for punishment. Others call for a review of gender exemptions and broader reforms. Caning in Singapore remains firmly embedded in the nation's discipline system, widely supported by citizens and institutions, but also heavily criticized by human rights groups. Strictly regulated and applied across schools, the military, and courts, it reflects values of law and order, while ongoing global scrutiny keeps its future hotly debated. What do you think about caning as a punishment? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to learn more about punishment worldwide and throughout the ages, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.